Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Anisha Coach here with you. I'm specially here for you for your Class 12 English Board exam. So, you're on the platform Learn English with Anisha or Cheerful Talk. And here I'm going to guide you, I'm going to help you out for attempting your paper. And especially as you are preparing it now, so how you need to do it, as only few days are left. Your board exam is on 22nd of Feb. So I know you students, even your parents, might be worried about it. So just relax yourself, be cool minded. I'm here with you. So let's learn what to do. You are familiar with your pattern that you are having your 80 marks paper. You are done with your internal assessment of English. You have given your pre-boards. You know the pattern that how the section A will be there. Unseen passages you need to attempt. Then you will come to the writing section. There is notice, invitation and their replies. Then you are having the letter to the editor or job application. Then article and report. So you know this thing very well. And then your section C will be there. Literature, where you have to cover up both the books, Flamingo and Vistas, covering prose and poetry section, everything. You know about the reference to context questions, short questions, and long questions. That's cool. Now, let me tell you first of all that you should read your chapters thoroughly because it is asking about reference to context, RTC. So, if you would be done with your reading of the chapter thoroughly, you can attempt those questions also. Right? That is must for you. And then obviously after reading it, you need to go ahead with the questions. You need to write your answers just to see how much you know. Because many of the time it happens with the students that they know what to write it. But when they are writing it, they are not able to complete the answer in the prescribed word limit. Might be there is something like you can say shorter the words for them or even they exceed it. So it's better you should practice it while writing, right? You should know the name of the poets and the authors very well. That is must for you because see, literature is the portion which you prepare the whole year, right? So you have to be very clear about it. Write the things. Clear? Do the questions as your teacher has guided in the school. Attempt those things. You might have seen the sample papers issued by the CBSE or even the other sample papers also. That is very important for you. Right. Now, what you have to do when you would be practicing for the writing skill, you should be very clear about the formats. That is must because you're having the weightage even for the formats. But definitely, yes, you need to write on the content also, but format should also be clear. You should not give a chance to the evaluator to deduct your marks in that. Right? And unseen passages, don't be overconfident in that you can attempt because you are doing this thing from like since long in the other classes too. You have to be very particular, practice it. Your unseen passages are not the easiest one here that you need to just copy the lines from the passage. You need to understand what they are asking about. So it's advisable to practice even the unseen passages. Right? That is very important. Now, when you will be having a paper in front of you, the question paper will be there and you are having 3 hours 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes just you need to do is a reading, especially given reading time for this to read the paper to the students, and then 3 hours you need to write the paper. Now see, as soon as you get the paper, what is the student ideology at that time, that they just turn on the pages and they come to the literature section to see that whether they know the questions or not, because those questions, you know, the expected questions, like expected in the sense that you are preparing literature, so the things will come from that. Writing would be something unpredictable, unseen would be unpredictable. So literature would actually boost up your confidence, right? Now, as soon as you have seen the questions, then you see the writing skill and then the unseen passage, and then you try to solve it in. I'm just talking about the 15 minutes reading time. So as soon as you would be on the unseen passages, try to solve those as early as you can so that you should not take much time later on this. So even there is a tactic for it. When you attempt the unseen passages, you need to see the questions first. You need to pick up the keywords from those questions, that what they are asking from you, and then you try to locate the answers Yes, in the unseen passages. See, 95 to 99% you get the answers in a sequential order, right? But still, few there can be a chance that your answers would be upside down too. So you should be very particular about it. So mark it, and if those 15 minutes will be done with it, direct now it's a writing time for you. So I would suggest you go in CBA manner, means attempt section C, then B and A. It's my advice to you. And if you think you are in a different zone to attempt the paper, so I would suggest you attempt few sample papers beforehand while starting the paper differently, so that you can write down the time limit and you can see where your speed actually matters. Now, why I'm saying the CBA, because section C is the one which you have prepared, right? So if you have prepared that, so you are confident in writing it, right? And then the writing and answering you have almost solved, so you can do it at the end. But yes, some student, what they do, they write it more. There is no need for writing it more. Restrict to it, whatever has been asked, just mention that only. Now you are doing the section C. Obviously there are the internal choices, so write on your questions properly. Numbering should be clear for your examiner to check, right? So left hand side on your answer sheet there will be a margin, right hand side also there will be a margin. If not, please draw it, because you can write the paper in the proper alignment, right? Now when you are going through the section C, try to have a good presentation and try to underline the keywords. Underlining doesn't mean that you always need to have the pencil and uh, scale with you. Even you can underline with the pen, but properly. It just depends upon the time, right? Whatever time, whether you're able to manage the time or not. And then give the gapping between two answers, at least 2-3 lines. So on one sheet, at least 2-2.5 answers should be there. Now, when you're attempting MCQs, in MCQs, what you have to do is, if you're writing, suppose the correct answer is A, if you're writing A, then write down even the statement in front of that. That is very important. So just don't write down only statement or only the option number. You have to write both. Only one will not be advisable for you. Then for you should follow the word limit, as I said, because if you are going to write it more, what would happen at the end, that there will be a less time with you, and then you have to complete the paper and you would not be able to focus it properly. So it's better since starting, it's better from the starting you should focus it properly, write down in a proper manner, right? Then when you have underlined everything, you are done with that part. Also come to the section B. Now section B, once again, the notice, invitations, and there will be a choice between letter to the editor and job application, and a choice between article and report. So whatever suits you, go with that. Obviously notice, invitation and their replies, or with the same invitations and their replies. So you have to go ahead with that. In other, you are having a choice, but you need to maintain it. You need to do it properly. Don't get confused what to attempt, what to write in that, right? Now next, what you have to do is, when you are attempting section B also, when you are doing that also, proper gapping, as I said, you should be very clear with the formats, and especially notice and invitations. When you are starting with those questions, if you should see the previous question, if it is on, you are done with in the on the half of the page, you should not start just after that, especially notice and invitation. You should give the whole page to it. So move to the next page. If only 1 or 2 lines are required, that's another case, but half on one and half on the other, I would not suggest you to go ahead with that. And if you need to get, score more in that, notice and invitation, see whatever details have been given to you in the question, obviously you have to put those details. But if you are writing something extra, then obviously there is a plus point for you. Why? Because the details which whatever has been given it to you, everyone is going to write it. If you're putting something extra, then only your efforts will be seen. That's what I'm saying it to you. You should be very clear with the formats. I would be sharing few videos on the formats also, and how to attempt even that. Then when you're done with the writing portion, also comes the section A, unseen passage. See, few questions you have already solved. Might be everything you have solved well in advance in those 15 minutes. So you can just write it now, but in a good handwriting, right? doesn't mean that you're writing in the cursive way. It should be the readable one, the legible one, right? Now, you should do the section A unseen passages, whatever question we have solved. If not, then try to solve it at that time, right? That you have to follow it. And as I said, underline the keywords too. Try to understand and the questions. It's not been asked that you need to just copy paste the lines. Make it very clear. That is very important for the students to understand here, right? Yeah. Now, see, the ideal time of completing the paper is 2 hours 30 minutes and 30 minutes for the revision. And you might be wondering that, ma'am, what you are saying, right? So if you are not able to complete on 2:30, at least try to complete in 2:45. Means 15 minutes should be there for you as a revision, right? So at least basically you should be having a time to revise your paper. That is very, very important for you to understand, right? And be very clear that you should not do the a lot of cuttings. If you're trying to cut any word or phrase, it should be a simple line or cut on it. Don't scribble it there, right? Especially first 2 3 pages should be especially there should be no cuttings, I would suggest. See what happen if you are doing like if you're cutting the things again and again, then it gives a bad impression to your examiner that this child is not that confident. See, it's a human psychology, I would say, about it. So you have to really understand at what you are doing it, right? It is very, very important for you to get the point what I'm trying to say. This is very important, and if you're going to follow all these things, then definitely you're going to score 90 95 plus. See, preparation is must. Obviously, I'm just telling you how to attempt your paper. Preparation is required. So you have to be very clear what you are writing, what you are doing it, how you are doing it, right? That is important. And whatever has been asked, please write those things only, right? And I guess if you follow all these things, definitely you're going to get the good grades. As I said, 90 95 plus you have to follow, but it doesn't mean that you will not prepare and you will just follow these things. Preparation is must. That is required. As I said, thorough, complete reading, practice from your side, and then attempt the paper. It is actually good. So make sure that you are writing the correct spelling also. You should not have that those spell errors. And try to follow the simple vocabulary. Don't go always with the high-fi vocabulary. If you're going with a high-fi, then you have to maintain it in the whole paper. And then human psychology is that your paper will be like taken in that manner. So you should follow the simple, cool one, the nicest one. Follow these things, and I really hope you would be able to do it. So wish you all the best. And if you're having any doubt, you want to ask anything specific, do message me. You can share your question, anything, and you can make a comment on this video, and definitely I will try to cover up those for you. And I would share the formats, the videos on the writing portion as well as on the chapters or poems, whatever I can do it for you. But you just have to be very cool minded. Follow your teachers guidelines also in the school. Don't neglect that, and take the things very seriously, but don't stress up also, right? Which is very important. I know you all can do it. uh, and as I said, wish you all the very best. First paper, then obviously see, this language is something which is actually very interesting if you learn it in that way, right? So I hope it makes everything clear to you. Do like it, share it, comment on it, and like subscribe the channel, because I'm going to share more videos. Other than that, also like your normal day-to-day English vocab also. So God bless you all the best. Yeah, tada, bye bye.